we winning though. They used to laugh at us, now we winning though. They used to tell me never.
All right, what's going on, folks? Welcome to another exciting episode of Strong Arm Sports, the realest sports podcast in the entire world, man. I am KSpadeTheProspect.
I'm your boy, the Paris 57, and together we form Strong Arm Sports. Spade, without further ado, let me jump right into it. A lot of things happened this week. NBA playoffs, some NFL news. I gotta let it fly, bro.
Let's do it, dog. Let's go.
Man, if you guys haven't heard, the Eagles made another splash this offseason. If you guys don't know, they let go Macklin, they let go Jeremy Macklin, they let go LaShawn McCoy, but the Philadelphia Eagles aren't done yet. They signed Tim Tebow, you heard me correctly, Tim Tebow to a one-year deal. Tim Tebow is out there, non-guaranteed money, but the Eagles signed Tim Tebow. Spade, why?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, we keep expecting Chip Kelly to be this offensive genius that he seemed to be when he was coaching collegiately. And I don't know, man. Maybe, I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't get me to line. I have no idea why they gave this guy a contract.
Well, let me jump in there. First of all, Tim Tebow is the 5th quarterback on the depth chart. They did not give him any guaranteed money. So that means for Tim Tebow to get paid, he has to be on the opening day roster.
Smart.
Which I don't know. I don't know if he's going to make it or not. But I'm going to tell you what. If I'm Tim Tebow, I'm glad I signed with Philly. Because if anybody can make Tim Tebow an NFL quarterback, I think it's Chip Kelly.
I agree.
But the Philadelphia Eagles run that spread offense and do all that crazy formation crap. I think if anybody can make it work, it would be Chip Kelly to make Tebow work. But I would have liked Tebow with Philly more with LaShawn McCoy and Jeremy Macklin. I mean, right now the receivers are and D-Jack and Trent Cole on the defense. I mean, the list goes on and on. But Tim Tebow, the quarterbacks over there, I mean, the wide receivers, in the skill positions over there now is Riley Cooper and Matthews. I mean, they have Brent Selleck still, but I mean, they signed Ryan Matthews. They have DeMarco Murray. Maybe Chip Kelly, man, let me tell you, I say this all the time when we talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. Either Chip Kelly is the smartest guy in football or he don't know what the hell he doing.
Well,
he don't know what the hell he doing.
Let me say this, though. Okay, you was just saying Chip Kelly run this spread offense, this tricky offense, but Chip Kelly, when he first got there, he tried all that tricky stuff with Mike Vick, and it ain't really worked. And to me, it seemed like he's not really, he ain't really running that tricky of an offense out there. I don't see it.
I mean, when I say tricky, I mean, they snap the ball like every 11 seconds, like something crazy like that. They get to the line fast. So I guess when I say tricky, I mean they do a lot of the read option and running quick plays.
Right.
But in Tim Tebow's defense, if this doesn't work out in Philly, I think Tim Tebow is done. I want to get you guys' thoughts in the comment section. If you guys think see, this is why I'm switching subjects a little bit, Spade. This is why I think Tim Tebow should have went to the CFL. He could have got to polish his quarterback skills over there. I mean, they have a wider field. There's more space to throw the ball around. They throw the ball a whole lot in the CFL. I think it would have actually helped him. He said he was an NFL quarterback. Well, Tim Tebow, this is your last chance, I think, in my opinion. I can't wait to know what you guys think.
Wait, though, bro. It might not actually be a chance. I mean, Philadelphia Eagle quarterback Mark Sanchez said that he's just another arm in camp. He said that while Sam Bradford is getting healthy, they just need somebody else to throw the football. And then he went as far as to say that's the reasoning for Tim Tebow being signed, and then stepped back and said, well, as it was explained to me. So either they lied to Sanchez or they lying to us. But according to Sanchez, they just need somebody else to throw a football in camp. It's a done deal. And I can actually see some truth to that because there is no guaranteed money here for Tim Tebow. So maybe this is a whole lot of nothing. Maybe it's nothing.
Maybe, but I'm gonna tell you what, Tim Tebow better go out there and try and take a job.
He better throw it hard. I mean,
you ain't lying, because it's 5 quarterbacks on that depth chart, and I don't see
like how
why
you
they
need
would
somebody
have
else to throw the football.
I don't understand it, Spade. I don't know what Chip Kelly doing. Like I said, either he brilliant or he an idiot. I don't know.
We'll find out soon. But since we're talking NFL, man, let me tell you something else that popped up in the news this week. I got to do the air quotes here. Ex-NFL GM said that his opinion of Jameis Winston, when he look at him, he draws a lot of comparisons to Jamarcus Russell. Quite possibly the biggest bust in NFL history. If you don't know about Jamarcus Russell, he's just a Google search away, but basically this guy really, he wasn't talked about a lot in college. LSU was running like a 2-quarterback system. He did come in at the last minute, played well in some big games, and got a lot of attention at the last minute. The Raiders, who's notorious for goofing up, just decided that this guy was it. He was the future. They bet the house on him. He was taking #1 overall, and he just didn't care. He got super fat. I mean, he just didn't care. He really didn't care. And I don't know, man. I know Jameis got his issues, but do you see any comparisons between Jamarcus Russell and Jameis Winston?
It's one comparison, Spade.
They both black. I'll say it for you.
That's the only comparison, Spade. Other than that, to me, I mean, if you wanna condemn Jameis Winston for all his off the field issues, be my guest. But other than that, when it comes to strictly football, Jameis Winston, he cares about the sport. The guy want to play football. He's not out of shape. The dude is, look at his Wonderlic score test. Like, he's brilliant. He's brilliant in the lab. The dude does his homework when it comes to football. He has, I don't want to say great. He has better mechanics than Jamarcus Russell ever thought he can have.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He has better mechanics than Jamarcus Russell could have dreamed about. Like, I see no comparison at all. And don't get it confused. I am a Florida State fan. I do like Jameis Winston. But if anybody sees a comparison between these two guys, they're blind. Spade, who was the GM? Who was the GM?
I'm glad you asked me that, because here's the problem. The ex-NFL GM wanted to remain anonymous, and that's where my problem starts with it. This is a bold statement. Like, this ain't, I think this guy be good, I think this guy won't be good. This is like a slap in the face to any NFL. If you compare anybody to Jamarcus Russell, it's like, that's disrespectful. If you're going to make a statement that disrespectful, put your name on it. Say, I'm me, and I think he's going to be the next Jamarcus Russell. But by wanting to remain anonymous, to me, that's just slander. You just hiding behind. I don't like that at all. Here's another thing I don't like in the comparison. Jamarcus Russell wasn't even the clear-cut first-string quarterback at LSU. The whole time he was there, it was this back-and-forth thing. Neither guy could just definitively hold a first-place spot, the first-string spot. That's not Jameis. Like, Jameis came out as a freshman, won the Heisman and a national championship, and took an ACC team. Let's be honest. Nobody was fearing an ACC team. Took that ACC team to the national championship. And because I know people are going to say it, let me go ahead and address this. For those saying they just made it because they played a lot of ACC teams and the ACC is down. That may be true. But in order to win, they had to play somebody outside of the ACC. And they looked pretty damn good in that game too. So I don't see the comparisons whatsoever. And I really feel like Jameis has done his fair share to make people dislike him. A lot of it is his fault. And unfortunately, man, people who don't like him, they're just going to find reasons to say negative things about him and to bring him down. And I think this is 100% what you got here. This is an ex-GM looking like, I can't stand this guy. And he's just looking to say, like, you don't see any comparisons here, bro. You don't see any comparisons, Mr. Anonymous. No, sit down somewhere. You lying.
One last, let me make one more point, Spade. And it bothers me because why couldn't Jameis be compared to anybody else? You don't see them. I'm gonna say it. You don't see them comparing Bryce Petty or some of these other white quarterbacks to Ryan Leaf, who was another bust in the NFL. You hear them saying, "Oh, he has to." You hear these other guys saying, "Oh, well, these guys had the potential to be. They have big arms like Peyton Manning and have this like this guy, or this guy could be an Aaron Rodgers." You don't hear them saying, "Oh, well, this guy's Ryan Leaf." I don't like that, man. I do not agree with that. And I just think the only comparison that this guy see is that they both black. And they both black.
I don't want to go too far off on a tangent. We got a whole show lined up here, and I want to give them the whole show. Okay. But, this is Strong Arm Sports, and we call it like we see it here. And I have always said this. The NFL quarterback position, to me, is the only thing in sports where people are still just blinded. Like, it's still a huge inequality at the quarterback position. You can look at it. You got guys who didn't even start in college that go pro. You got black quarterbacks that start in college and break records and don't get drafted. It's just amazing to me. So, like, it's sad to say, and maybe this is a debate for another show, but if my son wanted to play QB, I think I would sadly deter him away from the position because I don't think he could get a fair shot at the position. But anyway, man, let's go ahead and move forward, man. My bad.
Spade, I know you want to move on, but I want to go right back to one more thing. This is my last point, Spade, I promise. When we was talking about Tim Tebow, how do Tim Tebow keep getting shots and guys like Vince Young and these type of guys don't get a shot at all, don't even get called to a camp? Like, it bothers me, bro. It bothers me. It bothers me. It does not sit right with me. But we can move on. Moving on. Let's move on. We're going to switch it up, talk some NBA news. We're going to talk about Rajon Rondo, whatever you want to call him. He is, I'm doing the quote fingers here, out indefinitely with a back injury. But Coach Carlisle, Coach Carlisle came out and said that Rondo will not be suiting up for the Mavericks again at all. Spade, is it really a back injury?
Oh, it's a back injury, all right. It's a get back in the locker room, get back on the bench. Yeah, it's one of those injuries. Rondo, man, I don't know what's going on with Rondo. And we talked about it here on the show, and I told you, people didn't like Rondo in Boston. People didn't like Rondo in Boston. Rondo's a good player when he's mentally tuned in, which I don't think we've seen him mentally tuned in at all this season.
Not this season.
It was an interview right when he joined the Mavericks, and some reporter was like, so what made you want to come to the Mavericks? And he was like, I didn't choose to be here. Like, he just said it real dry, like, this ain't my choice. I don't think Rondo was ever happy there. I don't think he ever wanted to be there, and he made sure to let it be known. Rondo just recently got an 8-second call in a playoff game, just casually walking the ball down the court. It was actually 9 seconds. It was 9 seconds, and he just didn't even care. He just walked it down the court in a playoff game. But my question to you, bro, this is a contract year for Rondo. Is he hurting himself? If you're another team, do you take a risk on this guy?
I'm telling you, I think Rondo goes to the Lakers. Now that might hurt. That might hurt, but I think Rondo and Kobe are kind of friendly. That might be Rondo's only friend in the whole NBA, because Paul Pierce came out and said a lot of things a couple of weeks ago or a week or two ago about that whole Boston, how Ray Allen didn't get along with nobody. Rondo had some issues. Even said some things about Doc, and Paul Pierce came out and spilled the beans.
Yeah, Paul, baby.
But I think, yeah. So I think Rondo's best bet is LA. I really don't. I mean, just look around the league. Think about who needs a point guard that want to deal with Rondo's attitude.
No.
You need a point guard.
Who need a point guard who can't shoot? That's the question.
That's true.
Rondo can't shoot.
That's true. That's true too. But I could see Rondo going to the Lakers only because you pray that Kobe come back healthy. I could see Kobe with a facilitator like Rondo. Kobe don't want Rondo to shoot anyway. He want him to get him the spot so Kobe can shoot.
Let me ask you this. Let me put you on the hot seat. Does Rondo help this LA team? Are they a better team with Rondo, in your honest opinion?
I don't think so. I actually like Jordan Clarkson as their point guard moving forward, a young guy they picked up this past year this year. I like the kid. I think he has a lot of potential, but I mean, I don't see where else will he land? Leave in the comment section, where else will Rondo land? It seemed like Dallas was a perfect fit. They have J.J. Barea, who's a smaller guard. Midget. I mean, a smaller point guard. They have, don't use the word midget, Spade. That's not nice. They have They have Devin Harris, who's an older guy. But he is a savvy vet. I think Dallas was the perfect fit. Rondo couldn't make it work. Playing with Dirk, I could see playing with Dirk, getting him in spots. Monte and
Parsons,
the center, Tyson Chandler, Parsons.
Man.
Come on, man. To me, it seemed like it was the perfect fit, and Rondo attitude and typical Rondo faction blew up. I mean, and it ain't even looking good for them in the playoffs moving forward. It looked like they about to be out of there. It's just I don't know, man. I just don't see where else Rondo can land besides LA. Please leave in the comment section. Leave a spot where you think Rondo can land. Other than that, I don't know, Spade. Rondo really messed up. This was a contract year. I actually heard, and I know we don't plug other shows here, Spade, but I actually heard Stephen A., an NBA analyst, a guy that's around the NBA, said that Rondo lost $40 million with his attitude, on display during his playoffs. He lost $40 million. That's how much money he lost. It's just stupid. Stupid.
I don't know, bro. Well, I got some more kind of head-scratching news out of the NBA. Also out of the Western Conference. Out of the blue, at least it was out of the blue to me, but the Oklahoma City Thunder just told Scott Brooks to pack his bags and kick rocks. And I was kind of shocked by that. For one, I don't know who they feel like can come in and do a better job than Scott Brooks, who did a pretty good job with this team. This team is perennial playoff appearance team. Now, I do understand at some point you got that coach that keeps getting you here and you want to go to that next spot. I understand that. But, I mean, this team has been injury riddled. They got other issues holding them back, and I don't feel like their problem is coaching. I really don't. I don't know, man. A lot of people felt like the writing was on the wall, and I've actually done my research and found a lot of people that say that they've been waiting for this day to happen. Maybe I'm just oblivious to it. I don't feel like their issue was coaching at all. Which side are you on, bro?
Shockingly, I'm going to agree with you. I don't think it was Scott Brooks' fault at all. They lost Ibaka, who's a huge part of their team. Durant been in and out of the lineup. Mm-hmm. Even Westbrook, even though Westbrook had an MVP-esque type season this year, he's been in and out of the lineup. I mean, he was starting. They made the trade for Waiters, who struggled when he first, got there. But I mean, he came more. I actually think Scott Brooks should be praised with that team. He had them damn near in the playoffs with those guys. I mean, it was Anthony Morrow, Waiters, Westbrook. I mean, they traded for Enes Kanter.
Kanter came in and played big for him.
Yeah, he played very well. I mean, I think Scott Brooks was like 300 and something and 100 and something. That's a 3-to-1 win-to-loss ratio. He had them in the Western Conference Finals a few times. He had them in the NBA championship. They ran up against, who was that, LeBron and them they faced?
Yep.
Come on. I mean, I'm telling you, Spade, I think this is a case of we think we better than we are. We want to blame somebody. You can't blame Durant. You can't blame Westbrook because you don't want them out. So who's the person that gets the blame? The head coach. Sometimes, my man Spade say this all the time, sometimes the devil is better than the devil you're going to get. Like, so they fire Scott Brooks. Who's the replacement? Because Kevin Ollie came out and said he's staying in UConn.
Well, that's the thing. They listed Kevin Ollie and Billy Donovan as potential candidates, and Kevin Ollie came out and said, like, it ain't even a chance of me coming there. Scratch my name off the list. Let me ask you this.
Yeah, but Billy, wait, before you ask me anything, Billy Donovan, so you want to trust your team with a college coach with no NBA experience? Scott Brooks been in the NBA. I don't care whether guys like Scott Brooks or not. He's been cooking in the NBA. He's been cooking. And you want to give it to Billy Donovan, who ain't even in college? Well, come on, man.
Hey, man, I don't know. But let me ask you this. I read somewhere that OKC is trying to do everything to show Kevin Durant how serious they are about keeping him. Did Scott Brooks and Kevin Durant have issues that I didn't know about?
See, this could, I don't have the answer to that, but, this could be something. I mean, if anybody could have saved Brooks' job, it could have been Durant and Westbrook. If they would have went in there shoulder to shoulder, arm in arm, and said, bruh, if you get rid of Scott Brooks, we out, or, you know what I mean? If you get rid of Scott Brooks, then we're going to have an issue. Then I think Scott Brooks will still be the coach of the Thunder. Apparently, they didn't do that. Kevin Durant came out and actually said that he supports the team decision. So, it was, stuff happened behind the scenes that we don't know nothing about in the locker room, and maybe they didn't like Scott Brooks. I don't have the answer. I would love to know. I would love to know what the fans, what the subscribers think. happen with Scott Brooks? I would love to know because I don't have the answer.
Who knows, bro? Who knows?
You want to move on?
Yeah, let's move on. That one make my head.
All right, let's move on. Kawhi Leonard. And now a lot of you guys like Kawhi Leonard, Finals MVP last year. Kawhi Leonard wins Defensive Player of the Year. Could have been kind of controversial because I think it should have went to DeAndre Jordan with the Los Angeles Clippers. And I think Kawhi only played, 60-something games?
Yeah.
60, 70 games.
All
and
right.
also it came up that the Spurs will offer Kawhi a max deal, Spade. A max. Also, the Spurs, speaking on Kawhi and the Spurs also, it's been reports coming out this past week that they will also go after LaMarcus Aldridge. Babe, what do you think about the Spurs move? What do you think about them offering Kawhi? And what do you think about him winning Defensive Player of the Year?
Well, first of all, let's talk Kawhi. Offering him a max deal, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
He's one of those players that when you think Kawhi, you don't think max deal, but let's face it, game time, the guy brings it. And he brings it on both ends of the court, offense and defense. He's quiet.
I'm a fan.
So the fact that he's not really talkative and he's not really in the media eye like that, you forget that he's got superstar qualities. But he does indeed have it. Me, for one, the only problem I got with the dude, I just want him to cut them damn cornrows off his head. I mean, I would give him a max deal if he just get a haircut. But seriously, I think it's a smart move. The Spurs organization realized that their bookends is getting older, man. Like the guys that's the face of that team, they are getting older. They're still productive, but they are getting older, and you would be dumb to not go ahead and start planning for the future. And I use that to segue into the LaMarcus Aldridge thing. If they're really going after LA, and I'm LA, I'm packing now. I'm packing now because for one, you guys ain't going nowhere in the playoffs. And then really, man, it looks like Portland
is
leaning
the Trailblazers.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they're leaning toward Lillard. Lillard is the face of that team. Now, don't get it twisted. Lillard's a young guy. LaMarcus Aldridge is no spring chicken. This guy came into the league in 2006. So, I mean, we going into 10 years. He's about to be in the league a decade. Time flies.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something, man. Every year, let me get it right. Every year since 2010, LaMarcus Aldridge has averaged 20 or more points a game. He's pretty efficient. He shoots in the high 40 percentile, 48, 49%. Why he still got some juice, I would be heading to San Antonio, bro. I really would.
Yeah, I mean, I agree too. And to me, LaMarcus fits with San Antonio. You get probably a couple more years. Hopefully you could squeeze out a few more years out of Tim Duncan. Tim in LA, oh my gosh. And speaking of Kawhi, I think Tim Duncan and Ginobili and Parker, I think they actually passed the torch to Kawhi. I think the Spurs are still Tim Duncan team, don't get me wrong. But I think they're passing the torch to Kawhi. Kawhi has been the guy, especially going in this playoff series that we've been watching against the Clippers. He has been the guy that has been carrying them. I mean, Tony Parker having some Achilles injuries. He having some Achilles issues. Kawhi has put the Spurs on his back along with Tim Duncan and other guys filling in like Boris Diaw. Kawhi, I think he deserves a max as well. And I'm going to tell you what, if LaMarcus Aldridge was to go with the Spurs, they'd be right back like they never left. And they never left. Never left. It's scary, man. So I think if I'm LA, I'm out too. I'll be like, Portland, it was fun. Lillard, you can have that. I'm out.
Exactly. Me too.
I'm out. For real.
Me too.
We can move on, though, bro.
All right, so check this. You and I, we talk NBA a lot. We talk sports a lot. But this week, we've been talking NBA playoffs and how well we did on calling some of the series. And it's one game that kind of got us messed up. And that series right there would be the Wiz and the Raptors. I had the Wizards winning. You had the Raptors winning. But we both figured for a tight dog fight of a series. And quite the contrary. That's not at all what we're seeing. We're seeing the Wizards come out here and manhandle the Raps night in and night out, getting huge contribution from a 37-year-old Paul Pierce. What the hell, man? What's going on?
I have no clue. I want to say kudos, kudos to Bradley Beal and John Wall too. Paul Pierce came out and said some things about them. Paul Pierce was out there like bang, 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 bang. I don't know. Paul Pierce put his zen on. I'm doing a little finger thing. The zen on the Wiz, and Wall and Bill could have been like, you know what? Forget Paul Pierce. He all old, and they could have got mad at Paul Pierce. They came out and they responded. Wall been putting up crazy numbers. Wall had 17 assists one game, like 14 assists another game. Bill been shooting lights out. Paul Pierce even responded. I think Paul Pierce being on that team helps them dramatically. Marcin Gortat has been playing, I think they call him the Polish Hammer.
Yeah.
He's been playing amazing. Y'all know I picked the Raps in 7. I thought it was going to be a way better series than this. Right now, I want to change my pick and say, sweet! What is going? Man, a lot of people in the comment section were saying, I'm going to agree with LaParis.
We the North. We the North. That's
we
what
the
y'all
North.
say.
Toronto. Drake this and Drake that. Running through the 6 with my Wolves.
Ain't no 6 guy,
It ain't looking... it ain't looking good, Raps. What is going on with Toronto, bro? What is happening?
I wish I
Man,
knew.
I did not know. I did not see this series going this way. They up 3-0, and it don't look like the Raps are even going to get a win. It doesn't even look like they're going to get a win. I mean, DeRozan, the last game, game 3, DeRozan played amazing, and they still lost. And
you know what's crazy too, man? The Wizards' production is so equal. Like 18 points, 18 points, 17 points, 16 points. You know,
man.
I don't know if it's just a weakness that they see in Toronto that they're exploiting, but they definitely look good. They look like they hit their stride at the right time. The Wizards is a team that's kind of been up and down this season, but at the end of the regular season, they seem like they had it going, and it's carried over into the playoffs. And if they continue to play at this high level, hey, you can sprinkle their name in the mix for a team that could appear in the Eastern Conference Championship if they continue this level of play.
Yeah, if they continue this way, it's scary. It's scary. But Spade, let's move on. Let's get into the strong arm performer of the week.
All right.
You want to start or you want me to start?
I mean, I'm going to start, man, because, I'm going to do something different this week. You teased me about doing the same thing, so I'm going to do something different this week. This week, I'm going to give my strong arm performer of the week to a young man who had 42 points, 9 dimes, 5 rebounds, and like 4 or 5 of these little cooking motions. James, fear the beard hard in his mouth.
Oh my God.
What's the problem,
I thought you was doing something different, bro.
I did. I gave his stats before his name. That's different. What's the problem, man? James Harden, you are my strong arm performer of the week.
Let me tell you guys something. If I knew anything about Spade, I'm just going to put right here, right across here in some text, or right up here in some text, James Harden is strong arm performer of the week for K-Spade.
Sorry.
So let me get into a strong arm performer that you guys may have not heard on this show often, very often. A few times he made it, but not as much as James Harden. The real MVP, Stephen Curry, is my strong arm performer of the week. And let me tell you what he did, Spade. Stephen Curry had 40 points, 9 dimes. He was 7 of 18 from 3. None of them was bigger than the 3 he hit in the previous game to tie the game and send it into overtime, which he came out in overtime and they pretty much took the Pelicans' will. Like it was when they went to when Steph Curry hit that 3, Spade. I said when they went to overtime, I said the Pelicans done. It's over. They might as well just pack up right now. The Warriors aren't losing to those guys. They had their shot and they let Steph Curry bang a 3. Now it is some controversy there because a lot of people was tweeting me and was like, they didn't call the walk, blah, blah, blah. Space got the ball and he traveled. Bruh, they not calling that at the end of the game. If anything, they was in the no, right? Wasn't they in the Noya? Why didn't they call it? They was in the Noya.
Yeah, but the refs ain't from New Orleans.
For that performance, man, listen. For that performance, Stephen Curry, you are my strong arm performer of the week. Get your curry chicken on, bruh. He playing amazing, the real MVP.
You know what you left out? Real MVP. He brought those guys back. They were down 20 points.
Yeah, man, he cooked.
20 points.
He cooked.
I also would like to say, you talked about your boy shooting, what did he shoot, 7 or 18 from 3?
7 to 18.
I mean, that's all right. My boy James Harden was 5 of 7. I'm talking efficiency over here. The real MVP. James, feel the beer Harden.
Spade, I love this show. This is why I love this show. It's been an amazing show this week. Definitely, as usual, we want you guys to bang that like button. If you're new, bang the subscribe button. Share your thoughts in the comment section. As usual, we love to interact with you guys. You guys are always great down there in the comment section. Share your thoughts on the topics. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about Rondo and Scott Brooks and Kawhi, as well as Lamarcus Aldridge. Spade, you got anything else?
I'm out, bro. Great show.
Other than that, we'll see you guys next episode.